Okay, hey everyone. Thank you for being here. So, this is a recording of the final installment of the Professional Development Workshop series. It's what to do after you go to the career fair. So, after you make your elevator pitch, after you find out what the recruiters want from you, after you have a bomb LinkedIn, all of that, and your personal website, what do you do after you meet with the company reps? So I am Sindhu. I'm the industry chair for SWE.
I'm Maha. I'm the Vice President of External Affairs for SWE.
And we'll just jump straight into it.
All right, so today we're going to be going over how to send a thank you, checking in, and planning for the future. And these are the three biggest steps that you can take to ensure you have a new contact from the career fair. So when do you follow up? Following up should be done after any kind of professional interaction. So if you meet an intern that you want the position that they have in the future, then you can follow up with them. If you're trying to get into a research lab and you meet one of the professors, you follow up with them. And if you meet a recruiter or someone, or if you had an interview, then you'll follow up with them as well. And this is really important for you to develop your own career and to try and get into your dream position. So the first step is sending a thank you. And this can be a little bit intimidating if you've never done it before, but with time it gets a little bit easier. The first step to being able to do this is getting some sort of contact information from whoever you talked with, from whoever you're going to follow up with. So this can be a LinkedIn, an email address. It could also be information on a business card if they hand one to you. And then if you do get some information, if you get their LinkedIn, then you should connect within 24 hours. This is important for them to remember you and just to get your action items for after the career fair started. You may not get a response back within 24 hours, and that's okay. But since you've sent it in early, that's a good thing. And then you will contact the company rep after a few days. So after connecting with them or looking at their looking at their contact information, you can actually reach out to them and send a message. And we'll go over how to do that next. But definitely contacting them after a few days is important. After recruiting events and things like that, they don't necessarily get the chance to check all of their emails because they are overwhelmed with work and with other messages. So it's important to wait a few days before you contact them. And then make sure you keep in touch. So sending a thank you is the first time you'll say thank you, but as you keep in touch, you'll keep saying thank you to them for their time.
Yes, and just to jump into that too, so we said contact them after a few days because the recruiters from our previous workshops actually said that they actually get to the emails that are sent to them a few days after the workshop sooner than the emails that are sent to them the day of. So this is because when you send them an email the day of, it just gets buried with a lot of emails they get from both their companies and other potential applicants or candidates. But if you send it after a few days, that's when their mind won't be too busy. They're going to be more calm about things and they'll have caught up with their work as well. So they'll be able to reply to you quicker than the people who have emailed them prior to you. And so in your email, what exactly should be in it? So just this, I'll give you guys a few minutes to sort of go over this and just throw in the chat what you think is wrong with this email. So it says, subject line is career fair. It says, dear company representative, thank you for meeting with me during the career fair. I've attached my resume here. Please let me know when I will hear back about further steps. Best, Sindhu. So I usually said it's not personalized. That is very true. There is no touch of you or your personality in here. Elisa said vague subject line. So that is also true. The subject line just says career fair. It doesn't say which career fair. It doesn't say what you want from this email. It doesn't say anything about you or anything about anything really. It just says career fair. So Ashima said Sindhu slacking. Yes. I only put my nickname there when I should have put my whole name and also a few credentials and follow-up information in my signature. So the person doesn't stand out from other candidates. Yes. So because I haven't put in that personal touch, I'm not able to put a face to the name. I don't think the recruiters will remember who I am as a person. They'll just remember me as another applicant among the hundreds that they talked to that one day. So putting that personal touch on things and making yourself stand out will make sure that they want to keep talking to you because they actually know who you are, not just because you want something from them, even though that is essentially what you want. Yushi said, nothing that reminds the recruiter of the conversation that they might have had. Yes, so this is one of the most important things. If you didn't have conversations like this, then it's fine, but try to have conversations where you talk about something other than the role, or you sort of put in something about yourself that will make them remember you, an identifier. So for example, we'll go to the next email and we'll see what I did there. So here, it's a little lengthier, but it's still short and sweet. We have the UTD Career Follow-Up Global Technology Program. So the subject line is more specific. It talks about what career fair. It says follow-up, so that means you went to the career fair and you're following up on it. It talks about the program that you talked about, Global Technology Program. And the salutation is, hi, Jessica. So this may seem a little more casual, but this ensures that they think of you as someone who they've actually talked to. It's more friendly to them. So it's not just another candidate, it's someone they enjoyed talking to. And after you thank them for their time, you'll see here, this is the example I was talking about. It was also great to find out that we both share a passion for travel. I even made a list of all the places you mentioned to look into visiting myself. So this makes them remember you as a certain person. That's your identifier. You're the traveling girl. So when they think of all the candidates that they talk to, they'll remember, oh yeah, there were a few seniors, there were juniors, there are a few sophomores. Oh, remember there was that traveling girl. So that's your thing now, and that's what is going to connect you to them and make them think of you as a real person rather than just a name or another candidate. So after that personal touch, you'll see that I included that I applied to the Global Technology full-time role online. So I told them where and what I applied to. I've also attached my resume here for reference, and I'm eager to hear back about further steps. So the last line is the most important. They'll let me know if you have a few minutes next week to talk more about the role or otherwise. So this helps you stay in touch. This makes sure that they know you are interested in talking to them again, and you will be reaching out again if they don't reply to you. So making sure you set up that time for the next meeting, and then during that meeting, you'll set up another time for the next meeting. That makes sure that you are staying constantly in touch with them, and this will ensure that they get to know you even better. And once they build that trust, it'll be easier to do more things. And finally, the signature right here, I have my full name. I have computer science senior, University of Texas at Dallas, along with my phone number, LinkedIn, email, and website. So all of these are great, but there's actually one thing still missing, or one improvement you can make. So here it says computer science senior. Instead of senior, which sounds quite casual, you could also put computer science student. If you have a minor, put that as well. And after that, you can put University of Texas at Dallas on the next line and say class of 2021. So that way they'll know that you're a senior, but it's more easier to read and comprehend. While you say computer science senior, that's a very conversational method of telling them you're about to graduate soon. But if you say class of 2021, they'll still understand that, but it looks better on paper.
All right, so your term check-in plan. So this is the second step to steps after the career fair. So after you've sent them a thank you and had an initial contact with them, then you can start your long-term check-in plan. So you can send a message every couple of weeks asking how they are. and just talking about business, but also maybe a little bit less business, but still professional. That way, you guys get to know each other as people. And when you do message them, you can ask to talk to them for 15 to 30 minutes. Definitely don't go over 30 minutes because they are busy and they do have a job to do. So they may be discouraged to talk to you if you do talk to them for too long. And then if they're busy, then just respect that and check in again later. So you can always send another message after a couple of weeks again to see if they are a little bit less busy then. And let's say you are going to meet with them. Well, that's really great. Just make sure that you're prepared for your meeting with them. You don't want to just sit there and stare at them and not know what to say. So you can prepare a few general questions and a few deeper questions about their career. And we'll be going into that in just a little bit. And then after you've talked with them, make sure to thank them for their time. And like Sindhu said, let them know that you'll be contacting them again or set up another time to talk. This makes sure that they know that you're grateful for their time and that you're really interested and very social. And that'll help both of you get to know each other better. So some general questions you can prepare. So you should prepare around 2 to 3 general questions just to get the conversation rolling. So you can ask things like how they are or how their work-life balance is like or what their favorite part about working at a certain place is. These are just general questions about what they do and where they work. And this will help you get to know a little bit of background before going into their career.
Yes, and so for the deeper questions, this will be more specific questions about their career, but this will also be where you learn more about them as a person as well. So you can ask them what skills are most important for your career, what kind of projects do you usually work on, how easy it is to change positions. And this ties in with company culture as well. So you could ask them about that. If the company they're in, provides space for them to grow. And what kind of roadblocks do you face? Do you work on a team or by yourself? So their day to day, all of that. And with your deeper questions, the purpose of this is to sort of get to know their role better as well as them, and to also get them to know you better. So this is what helps you stand out as a candidate. It'll help you put in that personal touch that we talked about before that'll help them remember you better. And finally, plan for the future. So keep following up. Don't ever stop following up unless you're completely done. You have a job, you're a whole adult, But if you talk to them once now, then make plans to talk to them again, and then keep meeting up with them either like once a month or every now and then, just to make sure that they don't forget who you are. They know that you're interested in their company, interested in this role, even if you don't get it right now. So the next one is ask if they know anyone who works in your dream position and get in touch with them. So this is if they don't already work for the position that you want. So if you're just talking to a recruiter, ask them if there's someone there they know in the position that you want to get that you could talk to. So this would help you better understand the role, and it would also help you form a better and broader network. And the bottom left says, remember that relationships take time to build. So you don't make friends in 5 minutes. And similarly, you're not going to make a strong network in the 10 minutes that you spend talking to them at the career fair. So remember that this is the long-term plan. Keep in touch with them, get to know them as people, make them see you as a person rather than just someone who's after a job and money. And this will help them build that relationship with you and build that trust with you, which will lead eventually to a referral. So Ayushi, we had her in the chat, but Ayushi actually said once that, you should network with people when you don't need anything. So this is when you gain the most value from them, because you get to know them as a person, as a contact, and this helps you really get back to them later on. And since they already know you, they'd be more willing to help you out. So that is when you would ask your contact for referrals, when you already get to know them, not in the very beginning. All right, and with that, we will take questions. We can answer the questions that we had earlier. I've heard some company reps say that they feel weird about people emailing them directly and prefer LinkedIn messages. Do you have any thoughts about that? Yes. So company reps have said that they're okay with cold emails as long as it's an email worth reading and worth replying to. As long as you don't waste their time, it's fine to email them directly. But usually they will tell you how they prefer to be contacted. So when you're talking to them in person or during the fairs, then when you're getting their contact information or their business card, like Maha said, ask them what they would prefer. If they only give you their LinkedIn, that means they don't want to be emailed, so stick to that. And vice versa, if they only give you their email, just email them.
Yeah, and another thing to know is that, sorry, it's a little bit echoey. Another thing to know is that when you do get their LinkedIn, initially when you're first getting in contact with them, it won't show you their contact information, but once you've made a connection, it'll show you a little bit more. And so sometimes people will have their personal emails on their LinkedIn, and it's probably not best to email that one. I wouldn't recommend doing that, just to keep your conversations professional. So if they are okay with you emailing them, then using their professional email on their LinkedIn should be fine.
All right, and our next question, how long should we wait before emailing the recruiters again, assuming we don't get a response? So that one, I would just say a week is a good amount of time. They usually will look at their emails a few days after and try to reply then, or that's what we heard at least, and have seen ourselves. But remember to not spam them. It's okay to follow up just in case your email was lost in the hundreds. But that's why we suggest emailing them a few days after the fair instead of the day of anyway. But I would say a week is a good time for your email to get to them and then their email to get back to you.
Are there any more questions?
How do y'all feel about emailing them on the weekends?
Yeah, so emailing on the weekends may not always be the best idea. Recruiters don't usually check their email much on the weekend unless they're workaholic. So definitely waiting until a little bit closer, like during the weekdays, would probably be better. Especially like even emailing in the morning, because that way when they first open their email, they'll see your email.
Yes. And with that, we are going to end this workshop. Thanks everyone for watching and being here. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.